Ruben Amorim must bench ridiculous Man United star v Ipswich. Ruben Amorim will give Manchester United fans a glimpse into the future once he names his first ever Red Devils 11 on Sunday afternoon away to Ipswich Town, and he needs to make a huge call by dropping Marcus Rashford from his squad after he was reportedly left stunned by the lack of intensity in training. Amorim had been superb for Sporting Lisbon this season by winning all of his Primeira Liga games and remaining unbeaten in all of this season's competitions, barring the Portuguese Super Cup loss to Porto in early August. With Erik ten Hag being sacked, there has been a vast amount of anticipation surrounding his arrival at the club. With a change in tactical style and favoured personnel set to shock a few players at Old Trafford in terms of game time. But despite the change in structure, Rashford could well be dropped despite ten Hag and Amorim wanting direct left-wingers to feature in their teams. With the England international being criticised for his lack of intensity, Amorim prefers a 3-4-3 system, with width stretching the opposition, and by unleashing his front three, the Portuguese boss will be hoping that his wide forwards and lone striker can punish teams with the rest of the squad's physicality and quick turnovers beginning to see United play on the front foot. However, for that to work, the players in the front areas must show intensity in demeanour whilst hitting clubs on the counter-attack with pace and endeavour. If Rashford isn't showing that in training, then Amorim may not be convinced that he will show it in games, and that could force him to start other players. Alejandro Garnacho has been making a real case to start on both flanks since he burst onto the scene under ten Hag, and he's looked a lot more dangerous than Rashford in recent weeks, which could prompt the Portuguese boss to start the Argentina international over homegrown star Rashford. If Garnacho starts on the right flank, then it will give Rashford a free run to take the spot on the left, but Amad Diallo's impressive form under Ruud van Nistelrooy and his natural development makes him the perfect project for Amorim to use on the right, with Antony as a backup winger. Should Garnacho start and be rewarded for his hunger in his performances, it would likely relegate ridiculous Rashford to the bench, and that could force him to work harder on the training ground. A report by The Sun stated that Amorim was left stunned by United stars in training, and he's already made his decision on the flops that won't fit into his system, believing the squad to be bloated. Amorim's first starting 11 will be a telling sign as to who he trusts to lead the club forward and who could be culled to make way for new signings in the future, and as such, Rashford being benched would send a message out that the usual first-team players won't have a role to play if they aren't willing to put the work in.